Before we let you go tonight, today is Juneteenth, Independence Day. Now, for some not in the know, it's also known as Freedom Day, a uniquely American holiday that commemorates the June 19th, 1865 announcement that slavery would be abolished in the U.S. state of Texas and celebrates the emancipation of enslaved African Americans throughout the former Confederacy. Juneteenth is recognized as a state holiday or special day of observance in 45 states. One of the leaders of the abolition movement and a former slave herself, Harriet Tubman, made 13 missions to rescue approximately 70 slaves, family, and friends from bondage, pulling together a group of people who were fiercely passionate about ending slavery. With their help, Tubman, using a network of safe houses, otherwise known as the Underground Railroad, became known as the Moses of her people, who never lost a passenger on their way to freedom. But few know Tubman's history here in New York, specifically Auburn, a place just 4.5 hours northwest of Manhattan that would eventually become her home. It's the town where she lived out her later years, continued to help others, and became an active member of the AME Zion Church, and the location that would ultimately become her final resting place. But her legacy continues long after her passing. When Tubman passed in 1913, she left the property to the church she loved. The Tubman House was declared a landmark in 1974, with the AME Zion Church shouldering the bulk of the maintenance. Then, in 2014, President Barack Obama signed a measure making the Home for the Aged and the Tubman Homestead part of the National Park Service.
This is the only area in the nation. A lot of places claim Harriet Tubman. Her name is very popular now. But this is the only place where Harriet Tubman lived, worked, and died. All of her artifacts here in this area. In conjunction with Syracuse University, we are trying to restore for a larger museum. We will be right here in Auburn, New York, making sure that the legacy and the land on which she served and worked and died will be preserved forever. It was New York that gave solace, comfort, resources, money, and physical help. The John Brown Home was a medical center on this same property that Harriet Tubman started so that persons could receive the kind of medical treatment that they had been denied the times that they were in slavery, or the maladies and illnesses that they may have contracted coming the great distance by foot most of the time that they had to make in order to get to New York. New York was the last bastion of rest for them before making that final push into Canada.
1859, the property that we're on right now was acquired by Tubman, not only to live out her final days, but to build a place where persons who were at retirement before Social Security could find a place where they could spend their final days. This is sacred ground. This is holy ground.
We're trying to restore now the old brick house that you see up here. That's in the process now of restoration. Governor Cuomo has promised funds from the state, and the legislature has been very cooperative in assisting us so that we can restore the home and the barn, her barn. They can expect some pictures and artifacts of history that they had not seen. They'll be able to see some of the actual furniture, the actual Bible of Harriet Tubman. They have all of these small mementos of her life in snippets. We're in the process, however, of proposing a much larger welcome center when we have the necessary funding to make it happen.
She got up early, before the break of day. What I like about Harriet Tubman, she was a bad sister. Well, yes, she was. Because Harriet Tubman had a way in which she would leave on Saturday nights. Because if she left on Saturday nights, newspapers would not report runaways until Monday morning.
This process, coming to this place, being on this ground, looking at some of the artifacts, have given them a renewed sense of connection with this person who we think of being larger than life. But Harriet Tubman was only 4'11". So like Martin Luther King Jr., not great of stature physically, but great of prominence and great of character.